Oh boy, welcome back everyone to the channel. Hope that you are doing well and having a lovely one out there today. We are diving into some Laurie Anderson. We're listening to some music from her. We've of course covered some in the past, and now it is time to listen to a little bit more. We're going to listen to this track Blue Lagoon off of her album Mr. Heartbreak, second studio album released in 1984. We are listening to this because this was suggested and sponsored by Tony. So Tony, thank you so much for the support and for the recommendation. And then looking at it, I also see that this had been at least mentioned, but it seems also suggested by Edward Thorne, Am, One Tie, SB Summit, and Master of Parsnips. Not Master of Puppets, but of Parsnips. So thank you guys so much for the recommendation. It's been a while since we've listened to Miss Anderson, and it's time to listen to a little bit more from her. So let's go ahead and dive into the track. We'll discuss a little bit after. Here we go. Yeah, I love how she plays with sound.
I got your letter. Thanks a lot. I've been getting lots of sun and lots of rest. It's really hot. Days I dive by the wreck.
I like how that works in this track.
I swim in the blue lagoon. Always used to wonder who I'd bring to a desert island. Days I remember cities, nights I dream about a perfect place. Days I dive by the wreck. Nights I swim in the blue
I forgot
lagoon.
the time signature.
Full fathom five. Thy father lies. Of his bones are coral made. Those are pearls that were his eyes. Nothing of him that doth fade, but that suffers a sea change into something rich and strange. And I alone am left to tell the tale. Call me Ishmael.
I like how these watery, oceanic, and islandy sounds come in that steel drum now at that point. Vibraphone? No. I don't know.
Thanks a lot. I've been getting lots of sun, lots of rest. It's really hot. Always used to wonder who I'd bring to a desert island. Days. I remember rooms. Nights. I swim in the blue lagoon. So I'm playing today. Flying low over the island. But my mind was somewhere else. And if you ever get this letter, thinking of you, love and kisses, blue Pacific, signing off.
One thing I really appreciate about Laurie Anderson and the way that she approaches music is in a track like this, it's so much more focused on the sound, the soundscape, the environment of everything rather than the song itself. You know, it's more focused on the space, it's more focused on the room in which the music takes place in, and the way that she brings out the sound, brings out the story, her narrative that she literally delivers, but also builds in the music. I think it's just really, really interestingly, conceptually, and also musically, the way that she brings it all together. I forgot to mention in the beginning, but just in case you don't know, I've already heard Big Science on my own. So I'm familiar with, probably her most well-known work. I just remember one night I just put that on and just let it go. And it was just like being swept into a completely different world. And so it's the same thing here. Blue Lagoon. I mean, it makes you think of water and islandy places and such. And here the music definitely captures that. I love that use of the sampled vocal, the bum, 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 and the way that she plays with that. It sounds like, she had someone record that. Maybe it was her or someone else. And then she just plays around with it on the keyboard, actually sampling it in there. And then playing it so that those vocals would come up. And I like how she uses that as the rhythm, but also partly as the melody. Basically using that vocal line as a manipulated bass line in this track, which I think is, once again, conceptually creative, and it comes across well musically. It's something that very easily could sound cheesy, using someone going bum, 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 or whatever, to act as the line. But it doesn't sound cheesy. It comes across very well fitting, if not a little bit avant-garde with the music. The way that about halfway through, after she says, "Call me Ishmael," how the music changes and opens up a little bit to the space, giving into the sound a little bit more, and allows those more, I would say, water-related sounds to come in. The steel drums, which makes me think of islands and tropicals, or tropics rather. You have, it sounds like a vibraphone or something, but like a sequencer sound related, something like that, but it's not. I don't know exactly what it is, but it reminds me of a bunch of seashells kind of clacking and clanking together. And of course, the ambience that's being built all underneath that is really well done as well. And you can basically hear the ocean waves ebbing back and forth as that section goes on. And her singing, well, I shouldn't even say singing, her speaking, her narration, her delivery is also something that works so well for the style that she goes for. Her voice is calming, it's enigmatic, it draws you in, it fits so well with the music, and it tells a story. It drives a certain narrative. And I think that works incredibly well here. Now, Blue Lagoon, of course, this could just be talking about a Blue Lagoon. Wasn't that like a movie a long time ago? Don't quote me, but wasn't there something a little troubling about the movie? I don't know. I've never seen it, so I couldn't tell you. I just remember hearing about it. All right, let's look at these lyrics here. I got your letter. Thanks a lot. The plaintive way that she says it. I've been getting lots of sun, lots of rest. It's really hot. Days I dive by the wreck. Nights I swim in the Blue Lagoon. Always used to wonder who I'd bring to a desert island. Well, apparently it's not this person, as a letter is the form of communication there. Days I remember cities, nights I dream about a perfect place. Days I dive by the wreck, nights I swim in the Blue Lagoon. Full fathom 5 thy father lies, of his bones are coral made. Those are pearls that were his eyes, nothing of him that doth fade, but that suffers a sea change and is something rich and strange. And I alone am left to tell the tale, call me Ishmael. That's from Moby Dick, which I need to read, by the way. Like this whole part here, which I'll click on, sounds completely different from all of this, which makes me think this is possibly lines directly from the book. And then repeats here again. That this time she says, always used to wonder who I'd bring to a desert island, where she ended here, but now she continues, days I remember rooms, nights I remember the Blue Lagoon. So it changes, first the wreck, now rooms. I saw a plane today flying low over the island, but my mind was somewhere else. And if you ever get this letter, thinking of you, so now she's sending, of course, the letter to this other person, love and kisses, Blue Pacific, signing off. So I wonder who she's writing to. There's implications, but nothing definitive. Let's click on this here. So I'm completely wrong. It's a quote from Ariel's song from Scene 2, Act 1 of William Shakespeare's The Tempest. Those are pearls that were his eyes. Was also quoted by T.S. Eliot in his epic, The Wasteland. Never read The Tempest. I do remember a movie came out a long time about it. And it looked interesting because the actual scenery and the costume and everything looked interesting, but I never got around to actually taking a look or a listen to that. Looking at some of the personnel on here, let's see. I want to see if there's anything specific in this track that I'm missing. You do have Adrian Belew here playing guitar, which is kind of interesting because thinking about it, I couldn't really identify guitar, but knowing that it's Belew playing it, who knows what he's doing. And there's steel drum by David Van Teegum on here. And then soprano, I guess it's Bill Blabber, is who's credited with the vocal part. Which I'm not saying it is, but the last name Blabber makes me think that like it's Laurie, just it's not an actual person, but it's just her giving personification to the instrument or to that sound. But it actually could be a person. It's just it wouldn't be the first time that like an instrument was given the name. Like what is it from Sisters of Mercy? Whatever they called their drum machine or whatever it was. They have a name. Anyways. It's not important. Let me know what you guys thought of the track, of course, in the comments down below. Tony, thank you so much for the recommendation and for the support. I really appreciate that. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.